I recently read a book and it said that there's no evidence of quarry in here. Right, okay. Look at that. There's grooves in there. Split this stone right down. Equal grooves there where this stone has been cut apart. I'll give you a visual on the size of that stone. That's a pretty big stone. Goes right back in there. There's obviously once a stone here that would jut out here, and that's been taken. And then this one here, you've got grooves cut out here. This has been cracked. There's a tiny wedge stone there, and right in there there's a stone wedging it. Look, see? That stone's been pushed down to actually lever this off. So push down there, and you can just imagine somebody hammering that stone to push this apart to lever it away. That is full quarrying, I'm afraid. Look, see how that's come apart there? Look, look, look. All the little stone fragments down there. See these cuts along here, been taken out, and that stone there has been wedged right in. Little stones, little tiny stones below, look. Is this a Neolithic quarry? Look at that. That's been cut. There's stones cut everywhere. This looks too smooth to be natural. That could have been like a later date stone taken from there. Look at that. That is something else, that. Something's been taken from there. Just pointing out the beautiful holly bush as well, which is growing up here right on the top. Or holly tree. Holy tree. That's a stone which has been shaped into a wedge and hammered down there. There's actually, over on that end, there's some fabric or something. That can't be from Neolithic. See that tiny stone at the end there, look, which is used just to push down. It could have either been the end of a wedge stone that's just snapped off. That's quite amazing. Quite amazing. There could be anything down there, look. Could be Neolithic scraping tools or anything down there. Not as I know too much about it all. I mean, this could have been quite modern day techniques. I've just picked the stone out of there. It was just in there like that. I picked it out, and there's evidence of burning, look. There's burn marks there, look. And that in there, that all looks like it's been burned as well. And looking at this, actually, this all looks like is smoke damage on here. I wonder if they tried to soften the rock by using fire. Whoever did this, maybe it's not Neolithic, but so it's cracked right down there, look. Right down there. It's cracked. There. They say that bluestones ring. It's got a kind of kind of ring to it, isn't it? Piece of fabric that I saw in the stone. I've literally just tweaked it out with my knife. I haven't had a look at it yet. But that's it there. Looks like leather. It's leather. Why would that piece of leather be there? I'm sure that wouldn't be. That's not obviously Neolithic, because it wouldn't be standing up to it, but that's a bit strange, isn't it? So I've just met this guy, Lee. Hi, Lee.
Hi.
Pointed out this bit here, which is actually looks like it's ready to go, really, with all the straight sides on it, and they kind of just given up on it last minute. But that is possibly a good example of a stone ready to go. Look at that. There's also some ringing stones around there, spotted dolerite, and Lee's been teaching me how to try and get it to ring. The good old ringing stones. There's some more here, look, dolerite.
Yeah, some nice chippings here. Someone's taking some chippings off there.
Oh, there, look. God.
This one looks pretty clear, huh? I'm standing out well. I'll get a bit bigger.
That's got a ring to it.
Yeah. Sometimes you need big bits, don't you?
Whoa! That's it.
Sometimes it's the bigger bit, the better.
Awesome.
It's a nice bit of dollar right there. You see on that moss bit there, covered over.
That one
Yeah,
there.
it's been chipped off by somebody.
Wow.
Yeah,
Look, you've got it all going on here.
Pretty amazing, isn't it?
Something's gone from there. There's a big. God, you know what? That could quite easily have come from here. That bit down there.
Yeah.
Taken from here, look, because they were all jutting out like that, look.
Yeah. Ready to go, aren't we?
Wow. There's Lee down there, look. He's going back. Met someone now on my journey. He's popping down to Cornwall sometime soon, so we exchanged numbers, and he might give me a shout when he's down. He also said next time I'm up here, give him a shout and he'll show me a few other sites, so that's cool. There's Lee walking down there. Hey, well, we've just been walking for the last probably last half an hour, something like that, around the a bit longer than that, 3/4 of an hour probably, walking around Carn Goedog, which is over there, and then we walked over here to this cairn, which I'll find the name in a minute. But you can totally see the difference in the rock structure. Look, on this one, completely different. Although Carn Goedog doesn't look too amazing from this angle, really, but it obviously is. Yeah, so I'm on the top of what was like a fortress, I suppose, really. And this looks like a built wall, actually, from over there as you're walking along. This all looks like a man-made wall. It's probably Iron Age, I think. So it's like an Iron Age defence. With all this wall around here. That's where we are. So it's Carn Goedog settlement. We've got like a ditch, like a hole in the ground, and there's a massive boulder in it. So So there's Carn Goedog. We're going to head back to. I can feel the rain coming in a little bit, and I can smell it. So I don't know how long I've got now until it starts getting a wee bit damp. But I'm heading back over there because it's quite special. So that stone, that's a good little view. I might take a shot at that actually, with this standing stone here and Carn Goedog in the distance. Sometimes you have to look away from the source, and this is the landscape below. So obviously from 5,000 years ago you wouldn't see any, oh I don't know, the size of these stones, would they have made channels in the ground? Shifting them off this hill? Would there be any sort of tracks that are left? Any ancient trackways? Doesn't seem to be anything that you can see at the minute. But I would have thought, anyway, taking them from this hill, they would have gone that way. Because what's the alternative? They wouldn't be able to go crossways, not along here, not with a stone that size. They could have, well, no, even there's a hill the other side of here as well, so they couldn't really have gone there. So these stones had to have come down this route, down here somewhere. It's actually, the whole landscape just sweeps down like a big sort of building wave, if you like. Just sweeps down. So if the theory's right, that actually they took stones from here to Stonehenge, they would have had to go that way. Lee was saying how, I think it's Mike Parker Pearson has found evidence that the Bluestones were taken from here and then put into a stone circle, which is over on those hills somewhere over there. I'm sorry about names, I can't remember names, and they're all Welsh and I can't pronounce half of them. But there's a stone circle over there where the stones were taken from here and put into the ground. There's fragments apparently that have just been found over there which relate to the Bluestones at Stonehenge. So whether the stones are actually taken from here over there first and then taken from that circle and taken to Stonehenge, I don't know, but to actually get them over there then they would have come down this way. But yeah, it's hard to see where they would have gone. Impossible to see, you wouldn't know, would you? As your mind plays tricks, you look at that sort of field and you think, oh, is that like a, could that have been a clearing once? Or, you know, could this have been the part of the road up here? But equally, it could have just been over there, or it could have been there. Who knows? You decide. Burn marks everywhere, all on those stones up there. Here, look, burn marks. And it's to shatter the stone, wasn't it? That's what it's about. See, this one's cracked here. Burn that, put it out with cold water and it cracks. If you've made, you must have had to make a mark in it to do that, or chisel out a line or something, but yeah, as you can see there. So all that rock there, look, it's all burn marked. There's burn marks everywhere. This is a bit of rock resting on there. If I go to move it, it's still pinned down with all that, look, not being moved. Probably since the Iron Age. I wonder if this rock was put here. I wonder if this was the rock that they beat that with to shape it up. No. Oh, it's obviously been there for some time, but can't imagine those two rocks being there for 5,000 years. But then who knows, you know. That's, oh, yeah. Who knows? Could have been balanced there for 5,000 years. Sorry, I had to give it a go. The ringing bluestones. See the notch, which is interesting. It's like a notch. Goes around there. So it's actually, yeah, that's been moved down. Oh crikey, look. So they're moving that one away from this. They brought it down here, look. You see this bit here? Would have gone around that notch there. That's huge. And how have they pushed it down? There's loads of rocks at the top. Ready to push this one down. Ready to go down that way. And all the way. Where that dark bit of ground is there, out to that field maybe. The reason I'm saying that track is because I noticed that some of this stone, actually, the smaller stones, they all go off that way. And you've got it all going that way. It just seems to flow like that. There's also another flow down that way, so whatever. But this one seems to be moving, they've moved it. Just a little away from there, move this whole block, this whole stone here, downwards. I've got to be honest, I think modern day techniques are a bit too lazy for that. That is some massive undertaking to move this bit of rock. How heavy is this? This is ridiculously heavy. It's huge. It's the size of it. Oh my god. I'll see if I can put the camera somewhere so I can get a shot of this. Look how big that is. Huge. They've actually moved that down. I've got to say as well, if this is a Neolithic stone, there's still the wedge there to wedge it apart. Is that a wedge? Wonder who put that wedge in there to wedge this whole thing apart. Look. If it is Neolithic, then that has been there for about 5,000 years, which would be phenomenal, wouldn't it? If we're looking at the Neolithic stones that have been quarried here, being the big stones, the big variety, massive bit of stone. Right. Wow. Wow. Probably wake up the Neolithic warriors and builders now. God, don't say that. Probably the alarm clock for the Stone Age people to come alive again. It does look like it's been put here. Maybe it was like you never know. Could be like when all the quarry workers are here to like hit that right. You know, dinner time or time to finish or whatever. Because you can't, it's so heavy. Yeah, there's no way you can shift that, and it's been balanced on there, look. You see just in the background of what we're talking about here in the ringing stones to the side of that. It's had a stone taken from it as well, from the back. Would have been higher, I think. To the side of that. It's all around. That ringing stone, you can see it from this side, look, it's been cut out there, cut away, and just lifted and placed up so it will ring. It's obviously what it's there for, to ring. Oh my god. It's a full-on ringing stone. So a little experiment, I've got two stones, a large stone and a small stone, and this is the ringing stone here. Nice ring to it. Got the smaller stone. Which one do you prefer? I'm just under the ringing bluestone where I've just been playing, and I did take one of the stones from here. And I just thought, what a thing if this was a selection of stones here to give you different sounds on the rock. If you've got all these different stones that were put under here, and I wonder if it's like the storage space for your beaters, if you like. There's loads of little stones, look. Loads of little ones. Oh, there's loads of tiny ones. If they would like be thrown on the stone, maybe. Don't know. How cool is that? If that's like a storage place for different beaters, for different tones of the stone. Cool. There's another stone here. I'm not going to point out every one, obviously, because there's so many here. But I just find this amazing when you see that these big stones were cut, and I don't think modern sort of, I could be wrong though, but I don't think modern, when I say modern, sort of, you know, more recent quarrying would move this bigger stone. We've got a cut here. You can see where it's come from there, and you can see under here, look, better preserved. That should marry up with that, I think. And this whole thing has been moved down. There's something white down there, which I don't know what that is. Some mould or something. The scale of it, look, huge. Again, it's like a boat, size of a boat. There's another ringing bell there, look. I bet that one is a ringer. It's quite high up. Similar shape end to it. I bet with a big stone it might. It's like a Neolithic standing stone. There, it's toppled. It's been toppled over. And these stones here, look, they've all been toppled over. No, I think that's natural. I just think that one's toppled. This one's definitely been moved. that wedge. There's a wedge in there. Just feel like you could move them. They're so heavy. It's getting on a bit now, so I think I'm going to be heading back soon. Probably going to go over the mound, over this hill, over this one, and over that one. Can't really see any paths. That looks like an ancient trail. Look along there. Looks like a trail along there. I might follow that. And I think I've got to get over that hill there to drop down into the car. Oh, the wind's picking up now as well. It's all happening here, and the mist's rolling in. Look, luckily I took a bearing. About to put the trail mix in the KP dry roasted peanuts bag. And I'm running low on, well, I've got no bag. I've got like 2 plastic containers, but I'm using them both. One's got a hole in, so I keep pasturing it. And the other one's got my lunch in, which I didn't eat, which I'm going to have for dinner. Save me cooking tonight.